Well, today we return with Southend United for our biggest ever game at this save. We've got a Europa League Final in our debut European season, with two key players out injured now, with more players unavailable. We've also got to make a big decision ahead of our final league game. What do we prioritise? How do we do it? You're going to have to decide this with me. But all that matters for me now is victory, and I'm just hoping we'll feel very different at the end of this episode than we did in yesterday's head coach. Yes, hello and welcome to part 80 of Saving Southend with me, Daniel. It's a double header to finish season 10 today, and what a moment it could be. Only the second time in this save where we're not battling relegation at the bottom of the Prem or outside the top division. And we have got a chance in our final game to sneak 8th, which would potentially be enough for European football next year, but at what cost? Because 3 days later we face RB Leipzig in our debut Europa League Final. Of course, we've not won a major trophy in this save. We've not been in a final since the FA Trophy back in the National League. So if you're looking forward to seeing how we get on today and what decisions we make with team selection, then please do put a thumbs up on the video. We face 4th place Everton away from home. My thought process here is that we're unlikely to win anyway. So why put everyone on a heavy match load just because of Leipzig? So my thought process is we're going to go for a reserve team today, keep everyone fit for midweek and really go for the trophy. And if it means we do miss out on Europe next year, then probably so be it, is the outcome there. Everton can finish anywhere between 3rd and 6th. They can overtake their rivals Liverpool. I think they'll be up for this. We've already lost Teddy Ivanov for the final, which is a big blow. We're without Joel Linton, Sam Ammo and Emir Williams as well. So key players missing across the spine of the team. I don't want to lose any more. Let me quickly show you the schedule for the 2-0 win against Brighton, in which Ukulano and Herbert scored in a pretty average display. Brighton were okay, they gave us a game, but we just about did enough. You were with me for the 2 legs of Real Sociedad. We had to throw that Wolves game in the middle, and we're going to have to do the same here. It may cost us Europe next year. I've got to take the opportunity to try and win a first major trophy. The Europa League Final is everything. And of course, if we win it, not only do we get that silverware, we'll be in the Champions League for the first time. So I've got to go for it. Let's get through the fixtures and see the Everton game, because they're fighting for the top 4 again. They're a great side in this game, and they've got loads of quality everywhere. Amadou Onana, a key player that you'll recognise from the start of the game. Jared Brumthwaite and Nathan Patterson, also originals. They've got the Chelsea goalkeeper Petrovic. They've got Alfie Devine in the number 10. And they've rotated a little bit as well, in fairness. I wonder if they've got anything else coming up. Have a look at the schedule. No, they haven't. So they've been in great form, to be fair. They're not conceding goals at all. They've let in 1 goal in their last 7 matches, and they've not lost a game since that time either. That is an incredible effort. We've been in a little bit of a poor patch at times, but we bounced back in that semi-final. And now today, I'm looking ahead and thinking, a lot of you have already got a heavy match load. We've lost someone as well. We're going to have to be careful here. So, bar Sadler, the goalkeeper, and bar possibly Mira on the left wing, we're going to see a full rotation. We'll be back in a minute when I've decided, and we'll run through the 11 for today's game. Well, I wouldn't describe this as an ideal setup going into today. It is a decent team on paper, but we're having to put some square pegs in round holes. We're also having to rotate a bit more than we like from the start and off the bench too. A few of the big guns are on the substitutes bench, so Ukulano, Jimenez, Wills, Herbert, but a lot of backup players too. Adeniji, Adozi and Mauricio will all probably feature, because Hugo's probably going to have to start in midweek, or Jensen, who's been brilliant in the Europa. I've got to decide who I go for there. Might depend on today's performances. In centre midfield, it's 2 left footers. In centre half, it's a fullback in Baranda, because I don't want to risk Herbert or Parker, particularly with Williams still out injured for another couple of weeks yet. It's all a little bit patched together at the moment, I've got to say that. Sadler, the first choice keeper, is in though, with Asensio and Ishmael, the 2 fullbacks. Fernandez and Baranda at centre half, with Takatsuka and Mira out wide. Berek and Harrison the midfield too. Hugo and Jensen up front and vying for the last spot in the Europa League final team, unless of course we get more injuries. And looking ahead to later in the game, whichever striker we're going to start is probably going to come off. Miranda's going to have to come off. Ishmael will probably have to come off. And Berek will probably do the same as well. So we've only really got one tactical change unless we get injuries. So I'm just going to stick with this for now. Hopefully we won't get battered at Everton. It's kind of that catch-22 between do you keep fitness up or do you keep morale up? But having won 2 games in a row prior, I'm hoping that a defeat wouldn't damage us too much. We're going away to a side we may well have lost that anyway. I was thinking about playing a back 3, but I can't get 2 centre-halves fit. So how on earth would I have found 3 anyway? Pochettino's side, we've seen the quality they've got. James Garner is also still there on the bench. Nicholas Jackson is at the club on the bench. They've got a lot of very good younger players as well, including my favourite regen name, Jonah Hodgkinson, a lovely holding midfielder that comes through every year. So let's get through the dressing room. Let's say we've got nothing to lose. These boys, look, if one of them does something magical, they'll probably start in the Europa League Final. And that is the incentive for these boys today. Everton will probably be slightly ahead in terms of quality, but will they be ahead physically? They've had a lighter schedule in the last month, so possibly so, as Diop puts the free kick in and Arna loses out in the air. Really worried about a 5'10" Miranda at centre-half who can't jump, although it's been done on the floor that time. It's offside, particularly when you look at their team. And Nana's towering in midfield. Braithwaite's playing fullback, so they've got 3 tall centre-halves. They've also got a big striker as well. It does make it difficult. With 15 minutes gone, it's a Sadler goal kick, and at the moment, it's one-way traffic as Anana goes wide to Cancellieri, into Hodgkinson and Alfie Devine, out wide to Diop. A lot of these players haven't played a lot of football recently either. Makes it difficult today. Just got to hang in there, which they're not at a minute, because Goran makes it 1-0. And that was like a knife through butter. So easy at the back. We're in a little bit of trouble, aren't we? 14 gone, 1-0 down. This game could get ugly. Well, corner kick to Everton. Still only 24 on the clock, and we're fighting at the back to head it away. Takatsuka does that. Jensen's touch very heavy, and he gives away possession as well. Neither striker really filling me with confidence yet for Wednesday night. Hodgkinson goes back to Bamba. Out to Braithwaite. Of course, Mauricio could come on and earn a spot yet. As Anana gets the ball through to Goron, this will be 2. No, it's not. What a save. Sadler's been, I know he made 1 mistake, but he's been so good for half a year since he came in. The fact that we sat him on the bench for a year is almost criminal. As Diop's corner, headed away by Berek. Patterson's there again. We're clinging on at the moment for now. Let's encourage the lads because the confidence is down. And Mira still hasn't recovered. Sadler forced long because, again, they're pressing us really high and we're not really set up for this. Hugo's not winning headers. Jensen neither. Both over 6 foot but not competing. As Cancellieri goes back to Patterson. Into the box. Across to Diop. It's 2. And after half an hour, it's already game over. It's already damage limitation. And you just hope it doesn't affect the final, because we've won games before this. We've been in decent form. You don't want it to make us fall apart. As Anana's picks up a knock, Ishmael's throwing it back to them. And now we've got to defend another wave, starting with Patterson. Come on, they've only got 10 on the pitch, man. Cancellieri gives it away to Mira. Has support from 2 strikers, but goes alone. It's won back well. Berek away as far as Ishmael. Support down the line, but Cameron Ishmael goes alone. To the byline. Options behind. Goes with a big overhit cross. Braithwaite heads away as far as Asensio. Into Alfie Harrison. Into the box he goes. 3 in the middle. Now 4. Takatsuka 1. Harrison again. Jensen. Oh my God, he's missed a sitter. 4 yards out. Half the goal empty. And he's not even just put it wide. He's put it miles wide. That is atrocious. We get towards half-time. It's 2-0 to Everton. And they've dominated the game. If we're being honest, not many of this backup team suggesting they should be near the squad at the midweek. That was terrible. Really poor. Not happy with it. I'll give you 10 minutes to respond. Looks like Mauricio will get a chance because the strikers have been awful. Do I risk bringing Joe Wills on for half an hour? Because it might get us a result here. But if he gets injured, without him and Ivanov, we're screwed. Cancellieri in is 3. I don't now. Now I do not risk it at all. We just make sure that everyone stays fit. This has not been a good day. We'll throw on the left for Cameron Ishmael. Finding Mira. Not even 10 gone in the second half as Hugo now misses a sitter. I'm trying to find a partner for Joe Wills up front in that final, and I am not finding one at the minute. 2 strikers in terrible form. Mauricio, this is your chance, son. On you come. Work your magic. Going to be him for Hugo with Jensen switching sides. Could have even kept it the same in truth, but trying to work out who's better there. Think we're going to go for that. I'm also going to bring on a Dozy for Mira. I'm going to bring off Adeniji for Baranza. Doesn't even matter if we haven't got a centre-half for now. Baldo Kamara can come on as well. He'll replace Takatsuka. And then the final sub really is either Ishmael or it's going to be possibly one of Harrison and Berek for midfield. I'll tell you what we're going to do. Let's work out the team first because Adeniji's going to go right back. I could put Asensio in midfield and bring on Herbert. Might be the best option here. So I'm going to take off Berek. I could even put him left back and take off Ishmael, but he looks fairly fit. So I'm going to go for Berek off, Asensio midfield with Harrison, and then Herbert centre-half with Fernandes, which is too late to save the game, but should be a short enough time that no one's knackered for midweek. And now Mauricio's got a chance. If he scores a goal, if he's brilliant in this half an hour, he will start the Europa League final, mark my words. This is your chance to do so. Spurs losing 6-0 at Fulham. God, we had a chance as well, didn't we? Who was it in 8th? Was it Chelsea? I think it was. Just double checking. Villa and Chelsea. Chelsea are 0-0 at Arsenal. Villa are 1-1 at United. If we'd won, we would have been 8th. It is frustrating, but Jensen's got a corner. Into the back post, headed over the bar. Fernandes misses it. Mauricio has not done much off the bench either. Oh, what do I do in midweek now? Villa got a late winner, so in the end it wouldn't have mattered if we'd won this game. That's nice to know. I'm not pleased with the result. I'm not happy with the performance. But we sacrificed this game. We knew what the outcome would be. Now we go to Wednesday night. Leipzig in the Europa League Final. And this is what we've all geared up for. Another top half finish is a cracking effort. Now let's get to the Europa League Final. See if we can make Champions League football, which would be absolutely incredible. Well, I think we know where our deficits lie, don't we? Because in between the two fixtures, we've got news that Yokolano is Young Player of the Year, 10 assists and 6 goals. And behind Haaland, we had the 2 top scorers in the Premier League. So we can improve our defence a bit next year in those fullback areas. We might be a bit of a gem next season. We know what we've got to do. And maybe with our goalkeeper, we've improved things anyway. So let's get ahead to midweek. We did have a bit of a weird news item from Mauricio Pochettino. We made Wills disappear. Wills wasn't a factor. That's because he was an unused sub, mate. I don't think that's quite right there. Let's get through to Wednesday night, though. All will be forgiven if we win the Europa League. Let's see if we can topple Leipzig. Well, here we go. It's fitness test time. And as we expected, our star centre-half is not yet fit. He's missed the whole second half of the season with his broken lower leg. We know Ivanov is out up front as well, which is going to be a big loss as a man who scored, over 20 goals this season. He's also the quick striker with that finishing ability. And Joel Linton, sadly, is out too in his final game before retirement. Against Leipzig, though, in France, we've got an opportunity. And after Everton won it last year, we can keep this trophy in England. But more importantly, it's so much for us. A first major trophy opportunity. A chance to get the Champions League football for the first time and just to stay in Europe next year. There is so much riding on this for us, and it probably decides whether certain players leave or get to stay at the club. They've got a bit of a mixed team, a few really experienced players and a lot of young quality as well. You can see experience includes Darami, Dallo, and Nana in goal, who's now, 37. They've also got a couple of good youngsters in there too. So let's go and get on the opposition instructions, get the changes made the assistant recommends. And I think we'll probably do a bit more beyond that as well because they're going for Joe Wills and Mauricio up front. That's an interesting call. I don't think I'm doing that. But I do want to keep Joe Wills on that side, which means I've probably then got to make other adjustments. Miranda's got a heavy match load. He was poor in the weekend. Do I stick with him? Do I go for Asensio? There are some big decisions to be made here. Miranda is declining. I'm going Asensio. Right back for the final. Ishmael, Herbert, Parker, fine. Yokolano, Jimenez, Bernberg. They've put Berek on the left again. I'm going to go for David Mira, who I fancy to have a big game today. Got to turn up at some point, hasn't he? Up front, it's Joe Wills and who? Emir Williams will not be on the bench. Do I go Jensen, who scored 10 in this competition? Do I go for Hugill, who is the ultimate campaigner? 29 years of age, 67 league goals for the club, 3 in the Europa League as well. I'm going to start Jensen. That's my call for today. And then off the bench, we've got Hugill and Mauricio. But Wills will be doing 90 minutes if he's fit. If he goes to extra time, we're in trouble. We've also got space on the bench for a youth player, so we might as well get one in. Is anyone available? That's the question. Sanko is a centre midfielder who's not bad, and he's got big potential. We've also got Darren Keach in a similar boat and Simon Cummins in a similar boat. I think I'm going to go for the latter because he's a bit more versatile, he's got a bit more potential, and he has played in this competition before this year. So that means our 11 for today is Sadler in goal. Two big decisions. Asensio at right back is one of them. Ishmael on the left. Herbert and Parker in the middle. Ukulano and Mira out wide with Bernberg and Jimenez in centre midfield. And up front, it is Joe Wills, the superstar and top scorer, with Rasmus Jensen, the top scorer, I'd presume, in the Europa League. No, he's not. He's 2 goals off it, but he's our top scorer in it, and he's replacing the injured Ivanov. Big boots to fill. Can he do so? Let's get into the Europa League Final and find out. Well, the dressing room is happy with our team, and to be fair, our opponents have gone a little bit younger than we expected because Moussa Diaby and Diogo Dalot drop out, and they've gone for a little bit more youth in the side as well. So defensively, they're dealing with Joe Wills. We've got to try and get our hands on a trophy, and that means we need to improve tonight. Most of the boys are motivated. Leipzig have got a good squad, so let's see how we go in the final in Lille. Jensen going from the kickoff straight away. Is it going to be another one of our ball fests in the final? We've had those over the years. This is the first major one with Southend. Can we make it count? Asensio and Ukulano with an early 1-2. Gives the ball away. Bernberg recycles it for Asensio, who's sprinting back towards his own goal. Massive pitch as well. This is fully zoomed in. It's all the way back to Jude Sadler. And now Herbert. Wide to Ishmael on the left. And into Mira. Into midfield. It's a poor ball again. We're just getting caught in possession a bit too much here. And we've done this before in big games. Is it going to cost us? Durami down the left. Do not concede first minute. Baumgartner across the box. Oh my God. This FM week is turning into a horror show for me. 1 minute on the clock. Leipzig ahead. And maybe I am going to get that feeling I got in the last episode of The Head Coach. 2 days in a row, it's going against us. Sidewalled through the Baumgartner. We've not woken up and we look so nervous. We're all over the shop. Durami, 25 yards out. Back to Seavold. Now Vetlesen. Into Bar. Could be game over. It is. Oh my word. 3 minutes gone. This is virtually our strongest 11. And after 3 minutes, we are 2 down. We've collapsed on the biggest occasion. And this is going to take one hell of a comeback now. 2 shots, 2 on target, 2 goals for Leipzig. And just like that, the Europa League is probably won. Because you can't come back from that, can you? 20 minutes gone. We've had a couple of shots, but it's not a time to be missing a star striker. Jensen's attitude is pathetic up front. Let's demand a bit more. Do we get a reaction? Not really, but we've got a corner. Mira puts it in. We need a lifeline, and Herbert's there. The biggest developer of the season, signed on a free last year, and he has given us an opportunity in this game. The big centre-half delivers, and Williams will struggle to get back in the team at this rate. 10 minutes to the break. Actually, Leipzig haven't had a shot since that 3rd minute until just now. But they've got a corner kick, and at the moment, one more goal probably defeats us, though. Bernberg heads away to Ukulano. He's got acres of space to run into. He's got pace, but he plays short to Jimenez. Jensen to Ukulano. 2 in the middle. Can we get level by the break? Into Jensen. Is he onside? I think he is. What a team selection decision that was. Jensen picked up front despite an awful performance on Sunday. And it's 2-2. I was going to say when we went 2 down, we don't often collapse in the big games. But this time, we've been in control since the 3rd minute. And if we hadn't gifted them a 2-goal head start, we'd be flying at this point. I'm really pleased with the fight back, though. We've got the momentum. Now, can we make sure that we make it count? Because Leipzig, since half-time, have been the better team. And they've probably adjusted, as Ishmael surely fouled there, but nothing given. And Simakan plays into midfield. We still look brittle at the back. We definitely need to improve in the fullback area next year. As Simakan has possession in the back 4. Wide to Kurt and options down the line. Can we nick it? Mira almost does, but now we're out of shape. Bar's forced Herbert wide. This could be problematic. Because in the middle, they've got an overload. And there's Durami above Asensio and in. and Leipzig retake the lead. We start the second half as we started the first, and by that I mean appallingly. I mean, we're giving it a go, aren't we? I'll give them that, but it's not looking great for us at the minute. The morale's still high. Not looking like that in the performance though, is it? I think we're going to go for some big subs soon. Will's not having the best game, but Jensen out of puff. I think it's time for changes. As Ukulano, oh, that's so unlucky. He's won the tackle and it's fallen for the striker. But Sadler makes a great save. I'm going to see out this corner, and if we don't concede, I'm going both fullbacks, Bernberg and Jensen off. 4 changes on the hour as Barr puts it in. Simmerkan's up, Bernberg wins it. Now, can we just keep it 3 for a minute? We do. Right, second half, we've not been at it. So, Bernberg off 4. Berek or Harrison? Berek or Harrison? I'm going Berek, right. We're also going to go... No, we're not. We're going experience now. Alfie Harrison, centre midfield. Asensio off for Baranda. Kamara on for Ishmael. And Jensen off for... Joe Hugill. He's the big game man. He delivers in these situations. Wills will switch to the other side. And we will try and get ourselves on the front foot because we've been in this game and we've got another corner. Mira in. Parker's up. Herbert's up. It's headed away as far as Harrison on the right. Chance to cross. Cuts in. On his left foot. Forced backwards to Kamara. Big ball wide to Mira. Men in the middle. Wills is there. Great header off the line. As far as Ukulano, who keeps it in on the right. Constant waves of attack. Baranda to Jimenez. And that ball is absolutely awful. It's brought away by Barr and now Vetlesen. Are we susceptible to the counter again? It's another poor misplaced pass. We've led to our own downfall today. Durami cuts it in. Baumgartner back to Camo. Into the edge of the box for Namaso and Vetlesen. Off the woodwork. Sadler beaten. Herbert up and heads away. 25 minutes to go. We win the free kick. But that game could have been over. We're still in it at the minute, but the second half we've not got going. With 20 to go, it looks like Leipzig have one hand on it. I think we've got a gamble on one of the wingers now. I'm going to take off Mira, who's not offered a lot during this season since coming in. A dozy on for him, more experience. Hopefully it will give us an outcome. But it's Leipzig with a free kick on the right and who are dominating this game, to be honest, since half-time. Hilsner wins it back. Maybe the experience, yes, helpful in terms of mentality, but genuinely just not good enough today. Vetlesen forced back again. Adozi nicks it. Can we counter? Here's Joe Hugill, one of those old boys. Forced wide, don't take him on. Oh, he's beaten him. He's skinned him for pace. Joe Hugill down the left. He's got 2 in the middle. Finds Wills. Brilliant from Hugill. Why did I doubt it? Joe Hugill, club legend. Beats his man for pace down the left. Crosses for Joe Wills. It's 3-3. This team are never beaten. This is the Europa League Final for the ages. Now we encourage the boys. One last push. Because extra time could be problematic. As Anana goes long downfield. Durami brings it down, but Wills has nicked it. Oh, this could be amazing. Herbert. Back to Parker. Nothing silly, please. Into Harrison. Option wide is Baranda. He's got support down the line as well. Ukulano is there. Options inside include Jimenez. The striker's making a run. But it's nicked back by Jimenez again. Hugo to Wills. Was he onside? I think he's off. It is. It's offside. Why again have we got no VAR in the Europa League Final after having it the whole way through? It's so weird. Because it's a big kick downfield by Leipzig. And it's not really dealt with by Baranda. Durami has been brilliant today. Cuts in on the left-hand side. Don't give a penalty. God, he doesn't. Not quite anyway. Dallo on the left finds Baumgartner. They've gone for experience off the bench as well, with Dallo and Salai in particular. Big ball over the top. Parker away. Now break. You've got 1 minute of stoppage time. There's no comeback if you score now. Ukulano away. Got nothing left to give, but he finds Joe Wills. Hugo's in the middle. It would be poetry. Is he onside? Is he on? He is. Joe Hugill in the 94th minute of the Europa League Final. That is incredible. We're going to time waste the last few seconds. Don't you worry about that. Fullbacks on defend. Wingers on support. It's 4-3 to Southend. How has this come about, honestly? It's a remarkable thing. Joe Hugill joined us in what? League One? No, the first year of the Championship. Just incredible. What a goal. And he's out of contract, I think, this summer, isn't he? this summer or next summer. So we've got a decision to make, but it almost seems the perfect way to go out. We are going to drop to cautious. We're going to time waste all the time. We're going to play for set pieces. You know what we're going to do. We're going to slow it down. I'll put the other set piece routines on as well. Drop the line of engagement. Keep the pitch very tight and compact, because we are 15 seconds plus whatever's added on top of that away from beating your Leipzig in the Europa League Final, winning our first major trophy and going to the Champions League. We were 2 down in 3 minutes. We were 3-2 down and out. And Hugill and Wills have delivered when it matters. With no Teddy Ivanov, step forward the experience off the bench. But is it over yet? Namaso down the line. Parker gets there. Just punt it away. Plays to Herbert. Clear it. Jimenez. Big ball downfield to Hugill. Harrison's there. Adozi's running as well. He's been found. Can we make it 5? Adozi. Wills just over hit. And Onana gets there. The whistle might go before the changes here. Onana with a big punt downfield. Bar's there. Kamara's up. Hugill down for Adozi. The two old boys combine. And Southend United, by 4 goals to 3, win the Europa League. What a moment. Let me put the music on for this one. Let's enjoy it in the background. Over comes the trophy. Harrison Parker carries it. He's been here since, what, League 2? League 1 at least. And Southend United, with him as skipper, lift the Europa League title in France from 2 down and out after 3 minutes against RB Leipzig. We win our first major trophy. We win our first cup final since we were in and the losing finalists against Chesterfield in the FA Trophy in Season 1. And more importantly, we go into the Champions League for next year after almost missing out on Europe. That is one of the most remarkable games I've ever managed. And after what happened yesterday in the head coach, boy did I need this pickup. We picked Jensen to start, he scored. We brought Hugill off the bench, he scored and assisted. And that 94th minute winner he's just scored there will forever probably be the most famous goal that Southend United ever score. What a win, what an effort. Let's go and see the end of season review. This one's going to be a long one, but boy, is it going to be worth it. Well, 7 million in the bank. We win the Europa League. There's plenty of medals getting handed out. When did Parker join us? He was here first on loan. He was in the National League. Harrison Parker played for us in Season 2 in the National League. He has made 311 senior career appearances for us. And he is now a Europa League winner and a captain that lifted the trophy. That's just incredible. That's what it's for. Loads of money coming in. We've got our initial budgets too, which is important because a couple of the players I want this year would smash our record transfer out the water. And now we can take that step up with contracts as well because, of course, Joe Hugill, the sub-man of the match, we're going to have to improve on that, unfortunately, because we're not going to compete otherwise. We'll do the press conference in a minute. The budgets are 90 million, 1.4 for wages, which in comparison is 500 grand above what we've got. We're going to be able to bring in 2 or 3 stars, I think. And there are a couple of little gems I've found as well. But what a season it's been. What an effort to win the Europa League in our first ever European season. Now let's get through to the season review and reflect on our first major trophy. Well, back for our season review on the surprise notification that Rasmus Jensen won Player of the Season in the Europa League, but didn't get in the Team of the Year. We'll gloss over that for now. End of season review though. What an effort. Our first ever major trophy. And it's the Europa League, which is so important for so many reasons. The players we've brought in, loads of quality youth players. And a shout out as well to some of those around the dressing room. Joel Linton, brilliant in the mentoring groups. Played okay when he came in. 2 assists in 5 appearances. Injury hampered him playing a bit more. We also got some great young players in January. All of them contributed. Fernandez probably the weakest of the lot, and he was the most expensive. But for the money we've paid, we've got enormous quality in this club. If you compare that to the transfers out, where Lucas Daniel forced his way out, Volsky forced his way out, Robbie Allen moved on for big money, PJ Smith did the same, Martin Cox did the same, and a few others went on for decent fees as well. None of them have really delivered for their other clubs, other than Daniel in 5 appearances there. Loans out, we've got a few to come back. Jigel really improving, worth looking at. Orellana's done well away. Maybe we'll let Caljo go and keep him as our number 2. But otherwise, look, it just shows the difference in squad quality. Jack Morehouse still going at QPR. I mean, we've really stepped up a level since then. Season results are pretty impressive. We stay 10th in the league. We had 2 seasons battling relegation. Of course, shocked the odds to get 6th last year. To maintain that top half finish and not get dragged back towards the bottom is crucial. And with Forest going down, if we can, there's one player with a 50 million release clause for relegation that I would love to get in. Steve Tilson Park sold out every week. Joe Wills, 23 goals. He really wants to move. He's got 2 years on his deal. We could be in trouble now, but we'll see what wage he wants. We might be able to offer it. Crucially, though, we won the Europa League. Only lost 2 games the whole season. You saw that thrilling 8-0 win against Besiktas, the biggest of the season, and the save. And of course, although we made it difficult at times, the semi-final and the final when we needed to, we were brilliant in front of goal. Moments to remember. How is the match to remember not the Europa League final? I mean, seriously. Jensen scored goal of the season in the Europa. We beat Besiktas 8-0, we just mentioned, biggest win. And 2-2 against Liverpool, the match to remember in the Premier League. I don't really remember it, if I'm being honest. So that's the wrong game for sure. The reputation stays at 3.5 stars. Surely it goes up to 4 next season with Champions League football and a Europa League title. Sponsorship up, everything else up. We'll get the rest of the broadcast revenue soon. And the big shirt sellers, Hugill's still up there. Amongst the big stars, it's still Joe Hugill. And that'll probably improve after the Europa League winner. Let's have a look at the team of the season. They've gone for Harrison over both Bernberg and over Berek, the January signing. It's gone for a Dozy on the left as well, but I guess Sam Ammo's injury probably caused that. We've got to improve at fullback for next year. That's my priority. And the accolades, well, nothing for us personally, but 4 in a match for Teddy Ivanov in a big 5-goal win. Also, signing of the season, Lewis Herbert, another scorer in the Europa League final. Joe Wills, certainly not a waste of 21 million now. And he wins almost all of the rest of the awards in a 31-goal season. Yukalano with 11 assists deserves a mention too. Premier League Young Player of the Year. If we can keep the core of this squad together, it is only going to get better. History in the making as we win the Europa League. And my word, did we make it one hell of a game in the final. Proved we still can't defend, and proved we've got one hell of an attack. Europa League winners just after reaching 500 matches in charge. What a time it's been at Southend United. What a season it's been at this club. But it's not over yet because we're at the 10-year mark, which means we will be back with one of our 5-yearly bookmarks next time out. We are going to have a look at the footballing world, see what's changed over 10 years apart from Southend getting 4 promotions. We're also going to plan ahead for a very big summer at Southend United, so make sure you're there for that one. But for now, we finish on the competition screen. If you enjoyed that, well, just absolute barnstormer of a Europa League final. Please do put a thumbs up on it. If you want to stay up to date with what happens in the summer, the 10-year bookmark coming on Tuesday, and then our transfer special and season 11 beginning on Thursday, subscribe and turn that notification bell on. If you didn't see yesterday's head coach, it was very different for me emotionally, and probably one of the worst things I've ever seen in FM. You can find that up in the eye above. There's also links there to the Twitch channel and a football podcast for loads of content from both. But thank you very much for watching, for being here as always, and I'll see you back here next time for season 11 after a 10-year bookmark.